Sup guys, welcome back. So today I want to talk a little bit about farming on a low budget. I've been getting that question a lot before. People are saying they don't have enough money to start farming or to farm everything that I'm sharing. First of all, just so you know, farming is around 20% or 10% of the money that I make in crypto. I just talk a lot about farming because there is a lot to do. But most of the time, I'm just investing into crypto, but I don't really talk about it because in less than 15 days, I can actually cover it all because I'm not investing into too many projects. But when it comes to farming, your goal is to make a little bit more money so you can invest it for the long term. So if you make 1K, you can remove something like maybe $300, $500, invest it for the long term, and then continue to farm with something like 1.5K. You continue to do the same thing. So next time you receive 1K, you can just repeat the process and continue to invest. Think of it as maybe a side project or a side job. This is what farming is for me. I'm not expecting to get rich from it. I'm just receiving a little bit of money from farming and then investing it back into my long-term investment or long-term portfolio. So when it comes to farming on a budget, first of all, I don't think staking is the best way to do it. I'm not saying staking is bad. I'm not saying you cannot make money from staking, but just thinking about it, if you have 1K and you want to stake maybe something like Celestia, Dimension, or any other token, in the end, you will have your funds locked and you'll be able to farm only one project. What I do like to do whenever I am on a low budget or I'm just using something like 500 bucks, 1K, 2K, is use DEXs, blockchains, perps platform, and maybe some NFTs platform. Why is that? So first of all, start from the top. We have blockchains. What can I farm with 1K? Scroll would be one of them. So Scroll is a blockchain. I can bridge to Scroll using L1, which will cost me at the moment something like $5, $10, even less than that. So I still have $990 to play on Scroll. Once I am on Scroll, I can also farm or use tokenless projects. Because since Scroll is a blockchain, what I can use is maybe Jumper, which we have the right here, you guys can see it. Jumper is tokenless, so by taking some transaction on Jumper and also using Scroll, I'm basically farming a 2-in-1. I can also use something like Ambient, which is also tokenless, so I'm basically farming a 2-in-1. Then I can also use something like SyncSwap, which is also tokenless, so I'm again farming a 2-in-1. And by doing it, most of the time I'm gonna be spending maybe 50 cents per transaction if it is not too expensive that day on Scroll. So if I end up taking something like 100 transaction, I'm still gonna be spending something like $50. So I still have around $900 to play with, which I can move to other projects. But remember, I already farmed Scroll. I already took some transaction on Jumper, on Ambient, and also SyncSwap. So even if my airdrop from Scroll is not that big, I'm still gonna be receiving an airdrop from Jumper, from Ambient, and also from SyncSwap. So still, it can be a pretty good amount. From there, I might look into some DEXs that are tokenless. So basically just adding some volume, some transaction count, something like Aperture, playing a little bit with Fluidity, those type of project where I don't need to lock my funds to farm them. So I can basically swap back and forth, and I'm going to be spending maybe 25 cents, 10 cents per transaction if it is something on Arbitrum, on Optimism, or some of those cheap chains. Next one that we could add, which can be a little bit expensive, is something like Orderly. So Orderly is a order book, which we have LogX using it, which is tokenless. We have IBX using it, which is also tokenless. So for example, IBX, you guys can see it right here. It is IBX. So it is an exchange. You guys can just swap up, can take some trades on it, and you're gonna be farming Orderly but IBX at the same time because this is tokenless. They're tracking your points, so in the future you're gonna be receiving an airdrop. So again, even if your airdrop from Orderly it is not that massive, but you took some transaction on IBX, you took some transaction on LogX. We also have BitTorrent, which is also using Orderly. We also have EMDX, which is also using Orderly. So in the end, you're farming multiple things that even if you don't receive a massive airdrop from Orderly, you still have 5 or 4 other projects that are your backups. So maybe $100 here, $200 here, $500 here, and then you can increase the amount of capital that you have to play with. So do the math. Just by using or just by farming the projects that I just mentioned on the list, you should have around a good 10 projects that even if you receive 25% of them, 30% of them, you should still make a pretty decent amount of money. So for me, my strategy is super simple. $1,000 I'm not staking because my funds are locked. Again, I'm not against it. I do like it, but it is not something that I'm doing if I only have 1K. Swapping, blockchains, perps platform, that's it. So let me know what you think, but for me, I do think it is the best strategy to use. And then once you have maybe something like 5K, we can start thinking about staking. So 3K, 5K is the best way to do it.